Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brandon Digital, or sorry, Old Habits, the Digital Experience Team's Design System Working Group and our sprint recap, what we'll be releasing this sprint. First thing up, I can share my screen here once I find that button. Is the new pricing page. So a lot of work went into this, a lot of coordination from multiple teams, great job on the design work from Jess and getting things sorted and building things that we can on a tight deadline and, working towards later iterations of an MVC. But yeah, we got a lot of feedback that basically looks great, and the mobile experience, a lot of people were impressed with that. So, and we've already done some iterations on it to add, navigation tabs and other cool stuff. So yeah, that's one of the things we released this week. And that's pretty much it for me at the moment. Looks like next up is Jess.
Hey, thanks, Brandon. Let me share real quick here. Okay, so I've spent this week working using usertesting.com to do card sorting, and there's 150 features right now on that pricing page that Brandon just showed. And our goal is to group them and kind of organize them in a fashion that will make it much easier for our potential buyers to find what they're looking for in case they want to like compare us to another company or something like that. They can easily just go, oh, I'm interested in security. Let me drill down into security and see what your features are. So I'm gonna say I'm like 90% of the way there. I've already got a bunch of features mapped, and I just had a bunch of tests run overnight. So I'm gonna hopefully get through them today, and maybe by the end of the day, we'll have our groups. TBD. That's it for me.
Cool. I'll go next. First one, me and Javi. So we were able to fix up some of the post CSS problems, or the purge CSS problems with the conditional class names in the first component in Slippers. And so now we got that working as intended, and some ideas about how we can abstract that out and make sure it continues to work as we move forward. Other things, small details, I added some additional package manifest items for the Slippers repository to make publishing up to NPM a little smoother and give some more details and give us some more places to drop the deliverables there and make that usable outside of the repository. And then following up on that, I actually imported the Slippers CSS to about.gitlab.com. There's not much there at the moment. It's just the one style sheet for the one block, but it is usable and it's working and is imported. And we now have a foothold where, as we make progress on Slippers, we can reflect that progress into about.gitlab.com, which is super exciting. And then on top of that, so right now, that's just the CSS. Ideally, I think where we want to be is in a place where we can take this design system and make it usable across the existing web properties we have. So I added library builds to the Slippers repository, which means when we publish it to NPM, we publish up a full bundle that is consumable either by browsers or Webpack or whatever else we're using as a bundler, which will give us access to actual Vue components. And there is a path forward to sprinkling them through an existing templating. After this call, I'm going to sort of wire them up and have the demo for that available. So really, really excited about that.
Thank you. And I'm next. So I'll be talking on the improvements that we made to the topic pages, and I'll be sharing my screen now. Let's start loading. So on the topic pages, what we did was that we made sure that we did a lot of improvements so that we can have a consistent flow of how our design looks like. Like what we've been saying about our design system, everything is now paying off. That when we adjust anything on one page, you can see it affecting every other page site-wide. So this is just a sample of one of those pages that we ensure that all the elements are now using our spacing from the design system. And even some elements such as the anchor text that are on some pages and not on some pages. So there are a lot of variables all around all these pages that needs a lot of work and a lot of consistency. And shout out to Steven. I know he's not here right now. There were a lot of decisions we made about stuff like little things like these anchor elements that are now displaying like an arrow at the end of it. So it took us some time to collaborate and to decide on what we really want from our design system and how we can bring them onto the engineering side. So that is all from me for now. Thank you.
I'll be sharing my screen next, so give me one quick second. So some of the things that I helped collaborate with the rest of the team on is creating a workshop, which is awesome in terms of like our discussion for static site generator. It's helped us kind of organize a lot of our thoughts that we've had that are just ongoing. I think it's been quite a journey in terms of the things that we find to be important and maybe not so important, and trying to find us kind of align on what those things look like has been a really interesting and rewarding experience, I think, for this team. We still need to do a part 2 for those because it ran quite long, which is a good problem to have, that we have too much to talk about. So we're going to be doing a second part where we complete this exercise and assign people with action items so that we can continue to move forward on that front very quickly as well. Been working on some documentation for slippers, so just getting markdown to render within pages, which is simple, but just we were getting a little blocked by that. So just like getting a lot of that stuff. I did kind of like a FAQ style, like what is a design system? Why do you need it? What is the difference between a style guide and a pattern library, etc. Like a lot of very common things that people come to. So I just wanted to add that in. And yeah.
And I think I'm bringing up the rear. I will share as well. So I did a small update. GitLab updated the privacy policy and wanted to add a 30-day notification. So now on the home page, you'll see this small banner in the corner that links the privacy policy, FAQ, terms of use, subscription agreement. And once it's dismissed forever. I'll just do a refresh. So it doesn't pop up every time you're on the page. So that is live also. And I will stop sharing.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. That's the end of our recap for this sprint. Good job. And we'll see you next time. Later.